Hello, my dear students. I welcome to all of you to this session of fluid mechanics. You know that we are discussing that flow through pipe, where last class we have seen lot of things related to minor energy loss. This is me, Dhiraj Mondol, Assistant Professor, JS College of Engineering, Department of Mechanical Engineering. My YouTube channel you can see DM Study Center. All the video lecture is available here. Lecture related to fluid mechanics, refrigeration, fluid machinery, Constitution of India, quality and reliability, material handling, and lecture related to strength of material and engineering mechanics. These are the lectures which are available. You can follow my YouTube channel. Some PDF related issue you can follow this official DM Study Center official channel, Telegram channel. Okay. And this is my Facebook ID and email ID. Here this email ID you can, in this email ID you can send all the assignment which are given to you. Okay, my phone number, any kind of query related to admission you can call me here or you can WhatsApp me. GIS College of Engineering, Mechanical Engineering Department, admission open 2020, admission open right now. You can call here, this is the contact number, you can call me also. So you know that JS College of Engineering top 22 years most trusted in educational conglomerate in Eastern India according to the India Today ranking. You can see there is fast ranking, fast private college in West Bengal. So Department of Mechanical Engineering is NBA accredited. You can see here. NIRF rank, this college is NIRF rank, NAC approval, AICT approval, WUT, that is your MACAUD approval, UGC approval college. Okay. Now I would like to say that please contact this number. This is the contact number of HOD. In case if you want to join mechanical engineering department, you can visit our lab facilities and all this. Most welcome to JS College of Engineering. So dear students, we were discussing the flow through pipe, where we have seen the major loss, Darcy-Weisbach principle, then your Chesis formula. Okay, then some numerical was discussed. After that you have seen that what are the minor energy losses, loss due to sudden enlargement. We have discussed how the derivation is coming. We have seen H is equal to V1 minus V2 whole square by 2G. Loss of heat due to sudden contraction. This lecture was taken previous lecture and we have seen some numerical also, and there are some other losses, loss due to entrance of the pipe, loss due to exit of the pipe, loss due to obstruction. Also discussed loss of head to bend in pipe, loss of head in various pipe fitting, and related numerical already we have explained. Now today we will be going to discuss about the hydraulic gradient or and total energy line. Okay, so basically what do you mean by hydraulic gradient and total energy line? So here basically the concept of hydraulic gradient line and total energy line is very useful in the study of flow of fluid through pipe. And you know the hydraulic gradient line is basically defined as the summation of, you can see, the sum of pressure head and the datum head, and P by rho g plus Z. This is called your hydraulic gradient line. Why it is needed, we will be seen afterward. So it is what? It is defined as the line which gives the sum of the pressure head and datum head of a flowing fluid in the pipe with respect to some reference line. or it is the line which is obtained by joining the top of all vertical ordinates showing the pressure head of a flowing fluid in a pipe from the center. It is briefly written as HGL. You can see here. Let us consider this is a reservoir. Now when the water is flowing from here to here, A to F, you can see there is some potential head, potential energy. Now due to entrance there must be some losses, and due to this traveling distance there must be some losses, major losses. This is your minor loss. Major loss Darcy-Weisbach. By the help of Darcy-Weisbach principle you can find the major loss for FLV square by 2GD. Okay, now we have to draw hydraulic gradient line. So in the figure you can see GC, this is the hydraulic gradient line. Okay, now basically if you are able to show the pressure head and sum of pressure head and kinetic head, datum head, then it is called your hydraulic gradient line. But total energy line is what? It is defined as the line which gives the sum of the pressure head, datum head and kinetic head of the flowing fluid in a pipe with respect to some reference plane. So let us consider this is the reference plane. Okay, and it is also defined as the line which is obtained by joining the tops of all vertical ordinates showing the sum of pressure head and kinetic head from the center of the pipe, and it is briefly written as TEL. Now the question is problem number, this is your this you can see. So basically what we have seen that hydraulic gradient line is equal to pressure head plus datum head. Total energy line is equal to, you can say, pressure head plus datum head plus kinetic head. Okay, so ultimately total energy line is equal to velocity head plus hydraulic gradient line. Okay, now with the help of this example we will understand how we can draw a hydraulic gradient line and total energy line. Okay, so it is written for problem 11.16, that means 11.16 number problem was there. This is, and hydraulic gradient line and total energy line you have to solve. Now here in the 11.16 number problem you will see that L is given, length of the pipe is given 50 meter, diameter is given 200 millimeter, so that is your 0.2 meter. Head, this head is given. Okay, you can see up to this mass. This head is given 4 meter. F is equal to 0.009. We need to find out the total energy line and hydraulic gradient line. First of all, you tell me what is the velocity of the fluid. So velocity of the fluid, already from 11.16 number problem it is seen that velocity of the pipe is equal to 2.734. Okay, so that is basically, you can see it will be given. Basically I am doing, that means you can see here basically the velocity, how you can find out. So go to 11.16 number problem. This is the 11.16, last class we have discussed. So here you can see all the values it is given. So based on this problem we have to draw the hydraulic gradient line and total energy line. Okay, so you can see the velocity from the this is your velocity, This is the velocity 2.734 meter per second. Can you remember this problem? It was discussed last class, na? So this is the velocity. Now based on this velocity we need to find out. So hi, what is hi? Hi is equal to, last class we have told you that 0.5 v square by 2g. Now you know the v, so this is the 0.19 is the head loss due to entrance. So basically when the fluid is entering into this pipe, then there must be some loss of head due to entrance of the pipe. So initially the energy is your 4 meter energy head, because this is the potential head. Now from the potential head some 0.19 meter energy is lost due to entrance. So that is why it is written here, you can see. So the point AD, line AD is basically declined like this, and this is the point E. This is A, this is E. Now due to this length there must be some frictional head loss. So that is your frictional head loss. So let us consider this is the frictional head loss. Okay. Now you need to draw the total energy and hydraulic gradient line. So in the diagram you can see CG is the hydraulic gradient line and DEF is the total energy line. How it is coming? I am coming afterward. So here you can see the HF. How can find out HF? 4FL V square by 2GD, because your major loss in the when the fluid is traveling from B to C. So 4FL V square by 2GD, all the values known. HI you can find out. So what happened? The energy at point A, it is equal to 4 or is equal to D. Now energy due to entrance there is some loss of energy HI, so minus 0.19. So 3.81 is the energy in the point E. Now some loss of head, 3.428 loss of head you can see. So draw a parallel line, just a line here, and how much it will be, you have to travel up to C point. Now in the C point what is the energy available? That is your velocity head v square by 2g. So in the point number A, the pressure head plus kinetic head plus datum head. Pressure head is your 0, kinetic head is your 0, only datum head is available 4 meter. So that is here you can see this point, in this point only datum head is available, that is your 4. Now in the total energy line, energy at B, you can see the total energy at point B is equal to what? Total energy at point B is equal to total energy at A. You can say this is your total energy at A minus HI, that is due to entrance. So due to entrance you know that it is 0.19. So ultimately 3.81 is the total energy at point B. This is the point B. Okay. So this mass you can see from here to 4 to D. This is your, this part is equal to 0.19. Okay. Now next, total energy at C. There this is your total energy at C. So total energy at C is what? Same process, PC square by 2, PC by 2G, B square by BC square by 2G plus ZC. So 0, PC square by 2G, atmospheric pressure again. 0 is the datum line, because you can see this is the datum line. So this is 0 and V square by 2G. You know the value of V. So 0.38 is the energy available at point C. So 0.38. So draw a line perpendicular to the BC. So this is your 0.38 and it is equal to what? Velocity head. So energy available at the point C is only velocity head, kinetic head. Okay. So draw a perpendicular line with respect to point C, BC, you can see. So this is your point F. Now D and E, connect that D and E. Sorry, F, E and F. Okay, you can join E and F. So initially it was your A, D, then E, then F, and here it is your C, and this is your B. Okay, connect E and F. You will be seen. This is called your total energy line. DEF is called total energy line. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now, if you really want to draw the hydraulic gradient line, so it is nothing but the pressure head plus datum head. So only you have to deduct the velocity head, that is your 0.38 from every section, from every point. You can see. So the DEF is the representation of the total energy line. Now hydraulic gradient line is the pressure head plus datum head. Okay, with reference to the datum line. So if you are subtracting this velocity head, you will be getting the total gradient line, hydraulic gradient line. So you can see from the figure, so only 0.38 will be deducted, and by the help if you are just, you will see in this point you can see there is not any kind of pressure head and datum head, that is why it is 0. So from this point you just draw a parallel line with respect to total energy line. Okay, after deducting the velocity head, you will be getting hydraulic gradient line. Okay, so I hope it is clear how to draw the total energy line and hydraulic gradient line. It is very important for your exam point of view. Okay, for GATE IAS exam also you can consider it. You can consider it very important problem. Okay, same process 11.23. For the problem 11.17, draw the hydraulic gradient line and total energy line. So this is your homework. Okay, now next is your flow through siphon. So here basically what is siphon? Siphon is a long bent pipe which is used to transfer liquid from a reservoir. You can see this is your reservoir. From a reservoir at a higher level elevation to another reservoir, that is your at a lower, that is situated at the lower elevation. Okay, or you can transfer water from a one pond to another pond, or one reservoir to another reservoir by the help of a simple pipe connect which should be connected between two reservoir, and there should not be any kind of air particle, and once the flow is continuous, then automatically the water will be displaced from point higher elevation to a lower elevation. This is the medium. Okay, so this pipe is basically, or siphon is basically used to transfer the or displace the water from higher elevation to lower elevation, provided there is some and if there is some obstruction between these two reservoir. Okay, so only a pipe, nothing but. Okay, now you can see here, from this reservoir to this point, this C point is called summit. Water is flowing like this, but you can see in this point this elevation is more than this A point, but we will see that the atmospheric pressure is your 10.3 meter of water. So in this point, whatever the pressure available, that is less than the atmospheric pressure. That is why the flow cannot be restricted. Okay, so the point C is at the highest of the siphon is called your summit. At the point C, as the point C is above the free surface of the water in the tank A, the pressure at C will be less than the atmospheric pressure. Okay, and theoretically the pressure at C may be reduced to 10.3 meter of water. Okay, 10.3 meter of water means your atmospheric pressure. Okay, of water, but in actual practice this pressure is only 7.6 meter of water, or 10.3 minus 7.6, that is your 2.3 meter of water absolute. Okay, so that is why this flow can be possible. Am I right? So if the pressure at sea becomes less than 2.7 meter of water absolute, the dissolved air or other gases would come out from water and collect the summit. The flow of water will be obstructed. Basically siphon is used for what is the function? To carry water from one reservoir to another reservoir separated by hill or ridge, to take out the liquid from a tank which is not having any outlet, to empty a channel not provided with any outlet slice. See, in the ration shop you will see the particular from barrel to a small reservoir can, you will see the kerosene it is placing from barrel to that can by the help of a small pipe, that is called your siphon. Or you will see from in the pond, the fish who are just on the fishermen, they are placing water from a one pond to another pond by the help of this siphon. Okay, and if you want to empty a channel and if there is not any kind of outlet slice, then you can use siphon. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Now let us discuss one numerical related to siphon. The diameter of the siphon is given. Diameter of the siphon 200 mm. Connect two reservoir having a difference in elevation of 20 meter. The length of the siphon is 500 meter and the summit is 3 meter above the water level in the upper reservoir. The length of the pipe from the upper reservoir to the summit is 100 meter. Determine the discharge through the siphon and also pressure at the summit. Neglect minor losses. The coefficient of friction F is given 0.005. So here basically diameter given, here difference in level of two reservoir H, that is your 20 meter, that is given. So in the figure you can see this is the level of water and this is the level of water. So this difference is given 20 meter. L, length of the pipe, it is given length of the siphon 500 meter, and height of the summit from upper reservoir H is equal to 3 meter. Length of siphon up to summit, it is equal to 100 meter. Okay, this is 100. Okay, the total is your 500, so this is your what, 400. So you can see the coefficient of friction also given. You need to find out the what you need to find out, you need to find out the discharge. Now if I am applying the Bernoulli's equation, okay, in the point A and B, you can see A, this is your A and this is your B. Okay, if the minor losses, you can neglect the minor losses here. Okay, and I am applying Bernoulli's equation in between point A and point B. So P A square by 2 rho g plus V square by 2g plus ZA is equal to PB square by PB by 2g plus VB square by 2g plus ZB plus loss of head due to friction, that is your HF, frictional head loss. By the help of Darcy-Weisbach principle you can find out the friction. So you can see here the atmospheric pressure is 0 and the PA by rho g, that is your atmospheric pressure. So we are assuming this is a 0. VA by VA square by 2g, velocity head also 0. Only the head available, that is your ZA, that is your potential head. Now the difference between ZA and ZB is given 20. So let us see. So ZA plus is equal to PB by rho g, same process. Here PB by rho g is equal to 0. VB square by 2g is equal to 0 because it is placed, the water is placed in another reservoir which is static in nature. Now ZB only available here and HF. So ZA minus ZB is given 20 meter from the, in the equation you can see. Okay. So ZA minus ZB is equal to 20 meter. So 20 meter is equal to 4 FLV square by 2GD. So only the unknown is your V here. So V is equal to 2.8 meter per second. I think it is clear. And discharge is equal to what? Area into velocity. What is area? Pi by 4 d square. So pi by 4 d square is the area. What is d? 0.2 meter. And velocity is your 2.8. So the discharge is equal to 0.0879 meter cube per second or 87.9 liter per second. So per second this amount of water will be displaced from that reservoir A to reservoir B. Okay. So I hope it is clear. Now pressure at summit. What is the pressure at the summit? You can see there is a point C. You need to find out the pressure at the summit. So basically you have to determine the discharge through the siphon and also pressure at the summit. So pressure at the summit, you can see here, pressure at the summit, applying Bernoulli's equation in between A and C, PA by rho g plus VR square by 2g plus ZA is equal to PC by rho g plus VC square by 2g plus ZC plus loss of head due to friction between A and C. So 0, 0, 0, because all the values it is 0. Okay, why? Because we are taking that line, this A point is your datum line. Okay. So taking PA, you can see here, taking datum line passing through A. Okay. Now PC by rho g, there must be some pressure head in the point C, and VC square by 2g, that is your V square by 2g, and plus 3. Why it is 3? Because you can see this is given, height of the summit is given 3 meter. Okay. So here you can see the height is equal to 3 meter. So that is why PC by rho g plus V square by 2g plus 3 plus HF1. So that is your frictional head loss in this up to this in the pipe, 100 meter pipe. Okay. So 0, this all are 0. 0 is equal to PC by rho g plus V square by 2g, that is your 2.8 square by 2 into 9.81 plus ZC is equal to 3 and HF is equal to 4 FLV square by 2g, same 2ZD, same formula. So all the values are known, only the values which is unknown is equal to PC by rho g, that is your pressure head in the section C or in the summit, minus 7.399 meter of water. So this is one kind of vacuum pressure. So that is why we can say that the atmospheric pressure, the pressure at the point C is basically nothing but the less than the atmospheric pressure. It is nothing but less than the atmospheric pressure. Okay. So by the help of this calculation, we can easily say the PC by rho g is equal to minus 7.399 meter of water, and it is equal to some vacuum pressure. And it is also proved that the pressure available at the summit is less than the atmospheric pressure. So I hope it is clear. Next class we will be discussing about the flow through pipe in series or flow through compound pipes. Okay. So that will be discussed in the next class. I hope it is clear. Now all this what I have discussed, that is your assignment. Submit the assignment to this given mail. Okay, and any kind of query you can ask me in the comment section, or you can WhatsApp me, and you can call me here. This is my phone number. Any kind of query related to subject and related to admission, you can call here. Okay, so again I want to say that admission is open for 2020. Welcome to mechanical engineering department. Any kind of query you can call here, or you can call me here. Okay, so most welcome to GIS College of Engineering. Today up to this you. And one more thing I would like to mention, that whatever I have discussed, a lot of lecture is taken. You just some this revision, keep revising that lecture, otherwise you will forget, and keep practicing. Okay, numerical practice is very important, because without practice you can't solve the problem. Okay, so today up to this, thank you for listening. Jai Hind.